This is John Paul Rye. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and today I want to continue talking about Alec Baldwin and the tragic fatal shooting of his cinematographer. Now, the thing is this, I hear this a lot. A lot of people say, well, think about how bad it is for Alec Baldwin. Think about how bad he must feel. And you know what? That's fair. He must feel really bad, and it's something we should think about. But the thing is, Halyna Hutchins, who fortunately lost her life, has kids and she has a husband. So at the same time, while all these journalists are asking and defending Alec Baldwin, they don't actually say, well, think about how her family feels. Her family must feel about, I don't know, 1,000,000 times worse than he feels because they just lost their mother and their wife. So, I don't know. It's just like the media is playing real defensive with Alec Baldwin. Now, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying we got to think about things. We got to take all the facts, and we can't really say, hey, it's not his fault, this and that. No worries. He feels so bad. Leave him alone. I mean, we can respect his feelings, but when someone loses their life, then we really got to think about things critically, and we can't get feelings involved. Suffice to say, it's mainly the media on one side, let's say, who is putting feelings before facts, and I'm saying, yeah, let's think about feelings, but mostly let's consider facts, and let's think about who had responsibility here. That's what I want to talk about. And also, I want to talk about Donald Trump Jr., which is a pretty interesting figure for me to talk about. And I will say this, I don't like him so much personally. I'm just going to say I don't like him at all. Mostly because of the hunting. I don't like hunting animals for sport. I think it should be pretty much illegal. I think it should never ever happen anywhere. And he's a hunter, so I don't like him, and I want to throw that out there. So I'm going to kind of try to debunk the questions he asks. However, not every question he asks is bad. He does ask a few good questions along with the questions that I think are pretty easy to answer. So I want to look at that. And I also want to look at Halyna Hutchins, her Instagram, and just who she was and things like that a little bit. Now, I will say this. There is really an interesting political tied theory to this, which I can't get into on this channel. However, if you search hard enough, you'll find it. And maybe one day. But right now, unfortunately, it's a little risky. My point is, this is not all surface level. This goes deeper than I thought. All right, let's take a look at some slides from her Instagram and also at Don Trump Jr.'s little inquiries. So here you see it, her Instagram account, and she's got going on 60,000 followers, which is pretty damn good because obviously I've never heard of her and she's not a household name or anything, so that's pretty nice. And here she is in Santa Fe, Mexico, where the film was being filmed. And you could see her somewhere in there. Oh wait, you could see her right in the middle, next to Alec Baldwin, right there. Here she is with a horse. And I will say, this is how you take a tasteful picture with a horse. Not like some people we might know. Cafe. So she's got a pretty nice, normal Instagram. I guess it's the Grand Canyon. Or maybe somewhere in Santa Fe. I don't quite know. So, like I'm saying, when you look at these pictures and think about this is someone's mother, someone's wife, how much sympathy can I have for Alec Baldwin? Just a little bit. I mean, sure, a little bit. It's got to feel bad. But nothing compared to what her family's going through. And we see Don Trump Jr.'s questions here. Now, the reason this is becoming political is obviously there's debates over the Second Amendment and guns and should people have the right to arms and things like that. So, obviously, it's getting political due to that. And I've got mixed feelings on that one. I really do. But for now, I want to focus on his questions. I have a lot of questions. Why was a prop gun loaded and capable of firing? That's the best question. Can't deny that. The best thing to do is to have these prop guns completely safe, fake, loaded with absolutely nothing. And if you've got to put in the sound digitally from an audio clip or something, like from a stock photo type site for audio, do that. Why would you ever have a prop that could actually fire live? Okay, good question. Why was an actor pointing a gun at a cinematographer and pulling the trigger? That's easy. Because I'm sure you guys have seen those movies where someone's pointing the gun at the camera. Goodfellas is a good example, where Tommy at the end points the gun at the audience, and the photographer is filming that. So if that gun was live and it went off, then that would hit the photographer. That's the answer. She's filming all different angles. She's not only filming him pointing it at the person he's pointing it at for the movie. So that's an easy question. Why do those who hate guns so much have no problem profiting from them? Why are those who hate guns and profit from them not learning basic gun safety so as to be able to double check these things themselves? Kind of a good question there too. The list goes on and on. Do you have any other questions? If so, list them below. And he has almost 15,000 responses to this, and I think it's about 24 hours old or something like that. The thing I didn't know is Alec Baldwin is very against guns. He's somebody who's saying guns are dangerous. I'm going to assume he's all for taking away the Second Amendment. Not totally sure, but the point is he is against guns, yet now he's killed somebody, unfortunately and tragically, with a gun. So some people are saying things like, well, if all these people in Hollywood are against guns, why are they using them in their movies to make profit? Why not have them in their movies? Now, to be fair, it's not actually always the actors who write the scripts and everything, but they can turn them down. They can say, well, this has gun violence. I'm against guns in real life, so I'm not going to be in a movie that features guns and killing. It makes sense. I mean, you can make a separation. It is only fantasy. It is only fiction. However, there's a point to be made there, and I understand where he's coming from. You could see how it's going to get touchy from a couple of different angles. And when I first saw this thing, I was like, okay, this is bad news. This is tragic, but it's not that complicated. It's going to, get in and out of the news. We'll remember the woman who was shot. And if you want to have sympathy for Alec Baldwin, yes, that's fine too. But it seems like there's going to be multiple layers here. You guys, of course, let me know what you think down below. Agree with Don Trump Jr.? Disagree? Once again, I got to remind you, I don't like him so much, but he's really someone who speaks his mind, says exactly what he wants, and he's not very sensitive. So I think it's kind of useful once in a while to analyze people like that. But again, I don't like him personally whatsoever. The hunting thing really turns me off. Okay. On a side note, I started a GoFundMe for this channel, saving up for a PC. It's not a very important thing in the world, but if you check out these videos and want to help out, links in the description, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. If you don't subscribe, I guess I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.